Hello, everyone. I'm GGian, and this is Wales FM Fireside Chat with Artists. In this show, we talk about everything and anything art and crypto with designers and creators alike in the NFT space, otherwise known as non fungible tokens. Today, we're joined by Maxime Hacquard. He's a digital artist who is the MHSPROD co director and Motion Designers Community co founder. Hello, Max. How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. Really happy to be here today and really glad to be on Whale for this really cool chat.
And we are very, very happy to have you. I'm super excited about your work. It blew my mind out when I saw it, and yeah, I can't look away.
Thank you very much.
So, what I would like to know, given the fact that you have like such a high level of proficiency, what's your background in art? How did you start?
I started playing music a few years ago, and as many musicians, I wanted to create visuals for my own band and start to save money. So I started to jump into design without the will of being a professional artist. And after diving into several softwares like Photoshop, After Effects, and 3D softwares, I found that my pleasure was doing some sort of 3D design. Maybe I can share my screen because I have some early work that
Oh, yes, please do. Yes, perfect.
so it could help people to understand a bit more what I'm talking about. So this is not the first work I've done, of course, but I started to do some lyrics videos for my own band, some visuals in 3D, and soon I started to get contacted by artists like Bro Safari, as an example. I was doing this kind of visuals, and he just contacted me asking if I could do the same for him. And what I was doing for my own band started to be like a work because many
Mm-hmm.
people started to ask me to do the same for them, and it wasn't expected. Like I didn't want it to be a 3D artist or working in the video, but I mean, it started to be pretty growing fast. So yeah, that's how I started. Mostly an accident.
That's crazy. I never expected because you wanted to do visuals for the band. Wow.
Yeah, that's really fun, and
Yeah.
I've done really little elements too on this kind of advertising
Mm-hmm.
we were doing. So that was really at the beginning of my 3D Pro work. I was just doing really small assets like the trees or all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I started to find jobs even with a really low level, and that pushed me into a lot of motivation, and I wanted to keep working. And yeah, I started to do more jobs for some artists like Oliver Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon. He asked me to do some visuals for some of his clothing campaigns. So that was, really simple things, but it
Mm-hmm.
started to give me a bit of work. And then bigger clients started to come. Some artists wanted covers for their album. And years after years of doing 3D, it became my main job. And today, that's my main job. We opened a studio for 2 years, and now we are working with more and more brands that are looking for mostly futuristic, abstract, or dark
Mm-hmm.
universe. But what is cool is that some brands, for example, like uh, Biotherm, we worked for Biotherm, which is like a sort of luxury brand. They started to ask
Uh-huh.
us to create some aesthetic and visuals for them, and I found it pretty cool because that's not our universe, and I never expected a day in my life to work in the luxury industry making this kind of visuals for advertising.
Uh
So
huh.
I'm still, discovering what the life is bringing into the job and experiment. So yeah, I'm still a kid, like discovering new opportunities and new ways to create every day.
That's crazy. Do you still have the band?
Actually, it stopped sadly for some reason. I played in
Oh
two
no.
bands, two metal bands, and it stopped. But it was like a great experience. So yeah, now I'm just doing 3D and just
Never, and you never expected this transition to happen.
yeah, never at all.
That's amazing. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about these projects that you work with, like MHSPROD and the motion designers community?
Okay, so MHSPROD is basically the studio side of things, creating visuals for um, artists, brands. For example, last year we've done some stage visuals for some artists. We've done some openings for some events, stage design for the band Bring Me the Horizon, for example, with all those fake cabs to build like a super big wall of digital um, cabs. So that's the kind of things we do. And motion designers community is a community that we've built that is linked to our YouTube channel, some Discord channel, and we also organized events all around Europe with some artists like Andrew Kramer. If some are familiar with him, is one of the most popular VFX artists. He worked on Star Wars, Star Trek. He has a company that develops plugin and all that stuff. So we
Hmm.
really went from a little online community to something bigger and bringing people together in real life in events.
That's
Mostly
amazing.
mostly accidental too, because I never expected the community to grow that big, and that was a great surprise too. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, on another transition, from all of this that you have done, how did you found out and like how did you start to get into crypto art?
Mostly because of the motion designers community. On this page, I curate everyday artists, and um, it created to me like a big network of some artists that are now top sellers and super rare. And I was like just seeing their stories, and I just noticed that they were into crypto art, but I didn't really dive into it because it was a bit obscure to me. And Jean-Phi from the Les Collectionneurs, French community about crypto art, reached me through email talking about crypto art. And after seeing some friends diving into crypto art and getting the email from Jean-Phi, I started to get more interests, and I was really helped by the community Les Collectionneurs that just explain to me how to tokenize art, how it works. So thanks to my friends joining the movement, and thanks to Les Collectionneurs who made like an educative work to explain to French
Hmm.
artists um, what's crypto art, and just they just wanted to create a French community around crypto art. So I was helped a lot by those guys to, you know, uh, get into it.
Yeah, because it's very scary at first, right? So
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like everyone needs like someone to get in their hands and like get started, and then they get addicted and just can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still super curious and discovering every day more about it. And I love the community because most of the people are like super happy to help. They are super happy to give answers, advices, and I don't feel that much of bad mood or some people wanting to not make you into it. So I'm super glad I found the crypto art community.
I agree. Yeah, I get the same vibe as well. Everyone wants to see like other people growing. Everyone wants to grow together. I think that's quite nice.
Yeah, totally.
So you have minted on Maker's Place, right?
Yeah,
And I heard you're going to be releasing your first piece on Super Rare today. Any chance we could take a look at it?
yeah. Like I have the page open, so I will probably mint it later today. So yeah, I could spoil a bit of it. And so if some people are interested to see what I'm going to release, I can drop a link maybe in the stream text. I guess that's the place where I should leave a
Yes,
link,
perfect.
and I will probably start to be a bit more active into crypto art and mint mostly everything in Super right now. So the next piece will probably be some kind of fun. It's a MetaMask, a revolutionary MetaMask,
Oh, wow.
riding a badass Uniswap unicorn.
The
Uh,
unicorn. Wow. Wow. Yes. Yes. It's amazing.
yeah, that was my uh, um, we had some discussion with some friends, and um, they they just told me that it looks like a fun idea, and that's how like I imagined like the crypto revolution. So it's like a modern version of a revolutionary
Hmm.
sort of entity. It's not really a human. It's not really someone. And I wanted also to mix some glitch art with some clay,
Yes.
more
Hmm.
clay art. So yeah, I hope you like it, and I will mint it today on Super Rare. I don't know how much time it takes to be online, but promise in few hours I will tokenize it. So as soon as it's available on the website, you will be able to see it.
Oh, I will definitely be watching. That's super cool. And the color palette as well is very different than what I'm like used to. It has like this purple kind of pinkish tone, reddish as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
quite
like
cool.
cyberpunk tones. So yeah, I wanted to try something pretty different.
It looks pretty different. It's very, very cool. I love it.
Thanks.
So, what programs do you use to create your art?
I mostly use Cinema 4D and Houdini, and now more and more Houdini. Houdini is like the one of the most famous VFX software, and it was mostly designed to be um, a VFX software rather than a motion or a design one. You have the ability to do some sort of coding inside of it. So it's you have a mathematical approach, and you can set some rules. You can use a lot of elements. And at the beginning, it was more used for procedural stuff like generating a shitload of elements, generating explosion, smoke simulation, fluid simulation, and some artists started to use the software to create generative design and motion design and not only VFX.
Mhm.
So even the creators of the software were surprised. I discussed with their lead marketing guy, and he was telling me that he never expected that artists like me will use the software for something like creating abstract visuals and not making what the software was intended to, like realistic simulation. So
Mm-hmm.
I use a lot this software because you can use a lot of elements, and it has some nodal approach to it, so you can scatter points, and all the operation that you do are stacked into a node tree. It means that at any moment, what you are doing is like a chain, and if you change something, it will change the whole chain. So you can really generate a lot of variation, a lot of procedural things. And what is cool too is that you have a possibility to use pretty much any kind of elements and transfer attributes. It means that, as an example, colors are values. Black is like 0, white is like
Mm-hmm.
1, and you can use colors to delete some pieces. So just playing with some noises, playing with some functions, you can start to design really interesting and organic patterns based on computer. To me, it really helps to create with the machine. As an example, a designer would probably have to draw something like that and think, I want this kind of shape, and me, I use like some sort of formulas that
Mm-hmm.
just deleted some lines. So it's like collaboration with some algorithm. I didn't choose, as an example, to create those two lines and suppress other lines, but I think it just makes the creation process more interesting. Here, as an example, it's called a packed algorithm, and it will try to calculate where you can put different objects in space. So yeah, I didn't put manually all the objects. It was like
Uh-huh.
trying to change the rule, trying to play with values, play with colors, light. And I love this approach because it's easier to um, play with some mathematical rules and melt with human sensibility and emotions. Here, as an example, it's like a shortest pass algorithm. It will compute
That's
some
amazing.
point position and make some pass. So you can really get like an organic feels, because it's natural rules. It's not you designing it, but I think it really helps to create those sort of natural and human design at the same time. So yeah, I use a lot Houdini to create, and yeah, you can create all those beautiful design based on some rules and formulas. If you are into coding and 3D, I definitely suggest that you try the software. You will have a lot of fun into it.
This is mind blowing. This is amazing to be able to see what the process like, not exactly what the entire process looked like, but parts of it. And man, yeah, that's just crazy. That's super cool.
Thanks.
I love those pieces.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no, I was wondering because when that's exactly what I was thinking when I was like looking through them and like how is it possible that something like this, as detailed as this, like can be made? And now I have a little bit of a better idea. I love it. And also, I suppose this must be like the creative process for this must be like a fun process in a sense that like you're discovering and you also like having unexpected results to evaluate.
Exactly. It's pretty tough because it's a long software to learn, but once you have enough knowledge, you can start really playing, and many things are like happy accident, because you have like a big node tree and you started to ask yourself, what if I would change this value, what I could do by changing a value, and you could generate, really
Mm-hmm.
other patterns made of something. So yeah, it's really like you build a setup, and outside of the setup will build for you things.
Wow. And do you code for it?
Yeah, I do a bit of code. Like I'm really bad at coding, but you have to learn just a little bit how to set some rules into the software. So that's the bad point of the software for artists like me, because I wasn't that much a math and a code guy, but I had to learn a little bit of it. I'm still bad at it, but I just good to to be able to create things into the software.
Mm-hmm. No, but that's super cool. That's super cool.
Thanks, man.
On another note, basically on looking at the same thing, but on another aspect, how much time do each piece usually takes to be made?
It really depends if it's like a client thing or if it's a personal thing. Um, this, as an example, was a collaboration made with the artist GGian, and it took several months to be made, and I think it never will be finished. At the beginning, we had the idea to create a full short film, and we started to lose a bit some motivation. Some client works even for a simple scene. It could take some weeks because you will have revisions and you will have to follow someone's vision, which is great. It's a great challenge, but sometimes it's harder to achieve a vision that it's not yours.
Yes.
And for some pieces, sometimes I would say it's from few hours to sometimes a week. Just depends how much work you have, how much revision, and it's pretty much like any art process. Sometimes you create, you put all your energy and the result looks bad, and sometimes you wake up and in few hours you have something great.
Hmm. And like with this generative process that you often use, like how do you decide when a piece is finished?
Um, it's mostly when I start to think it looks good to my eyes. So when the result is looking uh, appealing, I would say that it's finished. And yeah, I don't have like a real moment where I could say this is finished, because you always have things to improve. But yeah, till it looks good, I would just stop.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have plenty of artists that just like say about how much they struggle with it, but I guess like yeah, when it looks good, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, and of course you will never see all the stuff that an artist is putting to trash.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. So can you move up a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit more. This here. How do you do this?
So basically, it was just a bunch of points connected, and in 3D, it's pretty simple to understand. Basically, you have, let's say, you have points. 2 points make a line, and when you have four or more than four, or at least three, it will start to create a polygon, a triangle,
Mm-hmm.
a rectangle, or sometimes an n-gon when you have more than those. So I started to scatter a bunch of points with some forces, because in Houdini you can use some forces like gravity, wind, turbulent
Uh-huh.
noises that are already built-in forces into the software. And I applied some noises, so it made the points moves, and then I added some option to avoid the points colliding to each other. and then connecting all the points, it started to create some lines. So it's basically just points moving, never colliding each other, and just linked as a lot of lines that create those sort of curves.
It's so intricate. I like it so much. Uh, so, what sort of equipment do you need to work in such like detailed pieces?
It's evolving pretty fast. I must say you should have a lot of graphic power, a lot of GPUs. As an example, I have 4 GPUs into my computer case because mostly all the images are computed using GPU rendering. So it uses
Mhm.
the power of your GPUs to compute the image. If you use a renderer like Octane Render, it's like base tracer. So it's like exporting the geometry, launching rays in all the direction, and it kind of solve how it react to rays. And the more GPU power you have, the faster your renders will be. So any person interested into 3D rendering should looks at having a good GPU, and you should also have, the more RAM you have, the best CPU you have, it will be always faster. So you always need to have more power. But as I said, it's really evolved fast, and we see more and more real-time renderer. We see more and more IA tools that will help to upscale an image, remove the noise, or even help to solve faster. So some computation. So now I know artists that with only a laptop are capable of doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of patience. And I'm sure pretty soon, like in 3 to 5 years, anyone with a laptop, a new laptop, of course, will be able to compute highly detailed 3D images.
That's a nice perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, because like as you said, it's the sort of stuff that someone with lesser computational power could technically do, but it would take them so much more time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely nice if it's going to be getting more accessible.
Yeah, you're right, and that's an important challenge of 3D is the fact that the computer is really important, because if you are like drawing, it's you, your paper, and your skills. And
Hmm.
in 3D, you also have the computer power. So the more power you have, you can just say, I want better shadows, or I want better reflection, or I need more samples. So sometimes a really great artist with not enough computer power will have less good result because he has less technology. So that's really an important point. It's really working together with the machine. If you want better shadows, you will need to have more power. If you want to load more geometry or high res texture, you will need more VRAM and all that stuff.
Oh wow, I never thought of this.
So
Yeah,
yeah, that's where it's important, because sometimes you have to say to your clients, I can't do better
yeah.
because I will just need a bigger computer.
Does it still take like a considerable amount of time for you to render your pieces?
Yeah, it depends what I'm working on, but most of the stuff still needs from 1 to 2 minutes per frame to be rendered. So when you are working on videos, especially, it could quickly go up to few hours rendering something.
Hmm. Um, you have like plenty of different styles that you have already touched. Like you have those abstracts, you have those environments, you have those 3D characters. What's your favorite one personally to work with?
I think the thing that I prefer is probably photography stuff into the 3D software. Like I love to model. I like to create generative design. I like to create simulation. But the moment where I have the best pleasure is when I choose the colors, the lighting, and when I do the post production. So I would say, um, yeah, that's my favorite part of the process. It's just like photography stuff. So anyone sending me a model, if I just need to create the texture and the light, I will be happy. And sometimes I just do stuff because I need to do. But yeah, I would say, yeah, texture and light is my favorite thing.
All right. Yeah. Oh, this is what I'm very curious about. But maybe you don't want. But have you ever like worked in video games, or would you like to? Even like cutscenes, or maybe even the 3D environments.
I had two times opportunity to work in video games. We've made with MHSPROD some textures for a video game app. It was like creating textures for some, you know, sort of spaceship fighting each other, but it was not really working in video game. It was more working for video games, like sending some assets that will be used by other artists. And I also worked a little bit on art direction for some video games, but that was not big video game. It was just small apps, and I
Mm-hmm.
just has done some researches, some effect in motion design to inspire the people working into the video games. So it was not really working directly into Unity, Unreal Engine, or
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the gameplay or all that thing. So I it's not really working in the video games. And if I'm interested into it, I would say I love playing video games. I love watching people doing video games, but I'm not sure that it's for me because it's really the supreme art, because you have to think about everything, and it should looks great, it should be optimized, it should run on several computers, and
Mm-hmm.
then the gameplay should be fun. So it's so much things to think about it, and I'm not sure this is for me. I prefer like working on images, advertising, and things that are near more motion design or maybe film, but I'm not sure video game is for me. I don't want to lose the magic of playing a video game and seeing everything.
No, yeah, because like your work, you already have to deal with so much complicated stuff, but then you would add like levels and levels of more complicated stuff. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's fair.
Yeah.
Uh, on the space, on the crypto space, on the NFT, I would like to know who is the artist that you most admire.
um, One of the biggest inspiration, even before that, he was into crypto art, and I really discovered his work early. Like he only has probably
Mm-hmm.
60,000 followers, and now he has million. Is of course people, but it's maybe not the people because people is doing for 13 years of every day, and I probably discovered it when he was at 4 or 5 years of every day.
Uh huh.
And that was one of the guy that pushed me into cinema 4D. Was already doing a lot of cyberpunk and a lot of neon stuff and abstract stuff. Now his style really changed, but back uh, I think on his website you can have access to all the archives of his everydays. And yeah, it was mostly I would say, yeah, round 5, round 6, I was already watching his stuff, and it was really, different. And I was motivated by, reaching this kind of, really fun pieces. So, yeah, my favorite crypto artist, if we can call him like that, is Beeple, because I follow him for a long time. I would say my favorite period is probably from round 7 to round 12. Now he's making more crazy stuff that is super fun, but before it was more, a lot of abstract stuff, a lot of neon and super organic stuff. So yeah, definitely people top one crypto artists.
I have never seen this older stuff of him. That's pretty different. It's
Yeah.
nice to see how it changed. So on a similar note, who is the artist that you would like to collaborate with?
Mm, I would say I have so much artists that I want to collaborate with. Mostly all the people that I repost on the page, motion designers community, could be artists that I would love to collaborate with. I mean, all those people have, so much creativity, a super nice style, and I can imagine myself collaborating with pretty much anyone. So I don't have like a top collaborate collaborating, artist. I would say like any guy coming up
Mhm.
with the will of creating something, I will be probably super happy to create something. Of course, I think someone having a style that is different than mine will be great, like artists like that with some sort of, really drawn look, or probably someone with more of a film look or pixel. So yeah, anyone that can, help to mix more ideas.
All right, you can't pick the favorite child. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, I have another difficult one. This is challenging, but I want to know what's your single most favorite NFT.
um, I don't really know at the moment. Pretty hard to choose. I would say I would say that maybe any NFT that will be a bit provocative in a way. Like I love latest people stuff. Pack also done some fun things with really expensive stuff. And some guys has done some fun stuff with bananas. So I would say I would probably have a lot of fun seeing one piece that will, break the rules and will be considered as a masterpiece, but having some sort of really fun background behind it.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you know what's your favorite work of your own? Like, what's your favorite piece?
Oof, that's hard to say. Let me let me take a look. Maybe that is the one that's used on the MHSPROD logo, because it was probably one of my first piece that I was really proud of. It's inspired by the bad guy Black Mask in the Batman
Hmm.
universe. So yeah, probably this piece is one of my favorite, because
Uh
it
huh.
was done at a moment where I was, starting 3D, and it helped me to get more motivation and dive more into 3D. So that's, yeah, probably one of my favorite one. And lately, I have done some fun things that I liked to, like this sort of badass, uh, you know, Doom Grotto. Um, so yeah, but yeah, if I would keep one, it would be that one.
Perfect. It's such a cool one. And it's kind of different than the ones that you're making now.
Thanks, man.
No, it's super cool. It really is. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you think this space will look like?
I don't know, like things are changing so fast. Uh, it's hard. Maybe I will be 100% of the time doing crypto art. That will be really amazing. Um, because I think it's a really nice way to create cryptocurrencies. Is really a project that I believe in, and that I want to push. And it's, you know, a collaborative world too. So my dream will be maybe stop stop the studio and all that thing, and maybe just create and share some visions with artists, create a lot of collaboration. That will be awesome. And I will definitely support the crypto world to go in that direction and allow artists to be more happy and have a better place in the society, because I think we are going into a society where um, we will have a lot of technical tools to help us, like artificial IA. We will have a lot of mechas and such stuff. But I think it will be always cool to as humans to think and create and have this raw creation. So yeah, it will definitely go into the direction where I imagine more the human as someone just helping to think and build things, and not necessarily, you know, creating stuff for clients.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a common struggle, right? Where okay, it's cool that you can work with what you like, but when you're doing for clients, it's not exactly allowing you to like be creative.
Mhm.
So hard to strike a balance, right?
Yeah, you're totally right. And yeah, maybe in the future AI will be capable of doing better images than us, and the artist will remain the person that is doing thing with his own craft and own vision, even if it's not looking great or not answering client vision.
That makes sense. Like if the level of visual quality or skill that would be required to do like could be done better with AI, then the only thing that would be left for the artist would be to have the vision, right?
Yeah, I think so. Let's see, but I would, yeah, see myself in 5 years probably a more creative person with less constraints. That's my hope.
That's nice. I hope you achieve.
Thanks a lot.
So now I would like to give some time for audience questions. So everyone feel free to ask Max what you curious about. While they think this fox here. I love this thing. What is this? Is this the
Oh,
Firefox?
no, it's actually a fox created by my fiancée. Uh, so we often collaborate together. Um, it was one of our first creation because she wasn't familiar a lot with 3D, so she only takes like simple shapes, and I helped her to create a design only with you know, basic shapes that are already in the software. There is like no modeling. It was just taking triangles and trying to find a way to put them into a way that it looks cool. And now she, you know, improved so much that now she create this kind of stuff. So yeah, she improved so much. But yeah, it was one of our first collab where
That's very cool.
just playing with triangles basically.
No, yeah, it strikes me as very different than what you were doing. That's why I asked it. But I like the minimalism that it has.
Yeah, and what was fun is that this minimalism was coming from a lack of knowledge as she was starting. She created a lot of triangle stuff. This was also one of her first creation, and this one too. So that was really great. So yeah, I'm able to collaborate directly with my fiance at home. So yeah, that's
That
my top one collaborator.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I wanted to ask about the Bulbasaurs and stuff. So she did them, and you did the lightning.
Yeah, basically she did the creator in modeling, and I did all texturing, lighting, rendering part of it.
It's so cool. It's so cool. I love Pokemon, so yeah, I love this.
Yeah, thanks, man. Pokemon is so great.
All right. You have recently experimented with organic designs, shapes, and radio cloners. How is the experimental process going, and what are some difficulties that you are finding when venturing in those vendors?
Are you talking about those kind of things?
Yes.
Um, I would say it's all about the main shape that you are going to clone. Um, if you have like one interesting shape to be used as a replicator and a cloner, it will be fine. But it's highly impacted by the main shape, so you have to work a lot on the main one. As an example, this was a sort of uh, tower made of wireframe going in some direction, and then the lot of cloner helped to create this cool shape. So yeah, the difficulty is just try to find one good main shape, and then yeah, just see if that works. As an example, I created this one, but as I'm way less fan of it because the main shape maybe has too much of elements, and it creates something that is probably a bit more confused to read because it catch
Mm-hmm.
more light and more stuff. So it's really about having element that will catch nicely light and shadows.
Yeah. Makes sense. Also, this is like a big thing that I see on your pieces. Particularly, you have very good sense of like readability, because often I see like starting artists in 3D, like they make it kind of blurry, or like you know things kind of tingle with each other, but you don't seem to have this problem. It's like very clear what's the idea. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks. And for anyone that wants to start with 3D, I would definitely advise to take a look at photography, like how to deal with composition of the image, like following some rules where you will have your depth of field, where is like your object and where you put your light. So I think that's a common mistake that many artists that start 3D are doing, is just forget that in 3D you will have to deal with rules that exist in the nature, like how reflective is something, where the light is coming from, where will you have shadows and the composition. So yeah, some good books you can read. Framed Ink. It's something about comics, but it's it will also help to understand a bit more about how to compose an image, what's the storytelling, what you can say with an image. So yeah, anyone that wants to do 3D, start by doing things that are not 3D. Learn about comics, drawing, photography, and you will just have to basically transfer the knowledge into those basic things into the 3D world.
Yeah, that's such a good suggestion. Really good advice. So something that my friend Anissa always asks on when she's doing their interviews, but since you got to it by yourself, I would also like to know, and this is what she always asks: what advice would you recommend against?
For who? Sorry, I was typing something in the in the stream
No,
text.
no worries, no worries, no worries. Is this like what would you advise people not to? What advice would you recommend people not to take?
Um, I don't know. I don't have like an idea really about a specific advice. I would just say now we have so much content on YouTube, and we have so much things to read that it's really awesome. Like internet is basically the most biggest place to learn anything. So yeah, I would say always watch people that are able to explain you something and try to get different point of views. I think that's also important, especially at internet times, to always have a counterbalance. When someone is saying something, try to find someone saying the opposite, and sometimes you will get a better vision. As an example, if you watch someone speaking about some composition rules, you will probably
Mm-hmm.
find someone else saying that those rules are too common, and he will have another vision. And it's hard for our brain to get contradictory vision, but I think that's definitely where you will learn the more. Just get more ideas and use internet. It's a beautiful tool.
Yeah, that really is it. So, what about this one here that I sent from Adventure Time? Can you take a look at it?
Yeah.
What's the story behind this one?
Yeah, just having fun with. I actually downloaded TikTok app, and I was pretty much surprised seeing a lot of people dancing, especially younger people. So I showed that to my fiance, and we had really a lot of love, and we would just imagine what would be like a TikTok from a virtual character. So this is just like imagining what Jake in Adventure Time will do in TikTok.
Wow, that premise. Such a fun piece. I also would like to ask about this crypto monster thing here. I love the axolots. Like, is this ongoing thing?
Yeah, sure. Think. Let me try to find the link. Yeah, we with my fiance, we started to design some crypto monsters, and I also. So sometimes she's creating the monster, sometimes I am, sometimes we do together a monster, and we started to dive into the crypto art with the collection of those crypto monsters. So the first gen was like an experiment to see like how the crypto world is working, and
Mm-hmm.
we've just like burned everything, only keeping 3 cards of them. And now we started to do another collection about some visuals, but it's more of a fun thing, like little collectibles. If some of you are interested by collecting some piece, I would like release the piece on super rare, and like the crypto monster is sometimes more fun things or little collectibles like a card. It has less value, but it allow to create, some fun elements like a dancing penis or an axolot or some sort of fun cards for crypto believers. As an example, I created this little monster, and um, he was like a special card for people buying it before it reached a Bitcoin value. They will get another card. So it's more like a playground. Crypto Monster is just like really fun project that we create few hours here and there, but it's not really art piece as it is. It's just more small collectibles. But yeah, collection 2 is launched, and super motivated to create more monsters, fun ones. As an example, this one is for uh, people believing in XRP. We have some sort of fun some fun cards that we are going to release more about the crypto world. So yeah, if you're this one is for the collectioner, the French community. So I used the logo there, and it's more like a fighter based on the community. So it's more like fun little collectibles.
I love it. I absolutely love collectibles, and it's such a fun concept that you're going for. I think maybe we should be looking for a whale believer. Just saying.
Yeah.
I
maybe I
love.
w-
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, maybe I will do some whales sort of card. I just need to find good ideas and fun ones that will make a great card.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion. I love the Axolot one. It's so cute.
Thanks, man. We also have 5 axolot home.
Wait, what?
We also have 5 real axolots at home.
Wait, you have real axolots at home?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How, how is it?
Yeah, it's really like a super nice little monster. I think I have a picture there. Yeah, you can see them.
Oh my god, that's adorable. That's amazing. Is it hard to take care of them?
Yeah, it requires a lot of attention, a lot of care, and it lives in a really different environment than a fish. So it's a lot of time, but I think it's really a nice. You can really feel that they are super smart. They are watching you. You can play with them with your finger. They will follow the finger. You can give them food. So that's more a pet that you can take care of more than some
Hmm.
fish. But we also love fish at home. But yeah, axolot is really a love story.
You were the first person I ever knew who had axolots. That's. I love them. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Max, I think this is going to be it for today. I really, really want to say a huge thank you to you because it was amazing having this opportunity to take a closer look at your creative process, about the technical details and everything. And I'm really looking forward for your super rare piece that you're going to be releasing.
Thank you really much. I will mint it soon. Thank you really much for the community having me and all the people that watch the live. I hope you guys learned a lot. And if you have any question that comes to you in mind, like I'm an open person, like you can even message me in private in Discord, and I could find the time to answer. I mean, if someone is interested to start 3D or just have some question coming later. Like, I'm super open to discuss with people having interest into crypto art and cryptocurrency in general. So thanks for the warm welcome, and yeah, just thanks again.
Thank you. It's our pleasure, really. It's such a great work. And yeah, thank you again. And thank you, everyone who was watching. I hope everyone had a good time because I certainly did. So, see you guys around next time. Thank you very much, Max. Have a good day or night. I don't know where you are exactly, but enjoy your day.
Thank you very much. See you. Bye
See
bye.
ya. Bye.